almost 2 hours before we completed the deal. Three things to announce today. First of all, we signed Zach Budish, who's at the University of Minnesota, a second-round draft pick from a couple years back, captain of the University of Minnesota Gophers. We think a really good prospect, and he is on his way to Milwaukee. So the future looks bright with Zach Budish. We made two trades today. The first one is we sent Scott Hannan to San Jose, a team that he formerly played with, for a 7th-round draft pick with Scott. I think just trying to give him an opportunity. He was injured with us, and he wasn't playing too much as the season went along, and he's back to where he started with San Jose, so I think it's a good opportunity for him. The big news today is that we traded for Filip Forsberg. Filip Forsberg is one of the best young players that's not playing in the NHL. He was the first-round pick of the Washington Capitals last year, 11th overall. The Nashville Predators had him in their top 5 last year. That was a draft where I think 8 of the first 9 picks were defensemen, and so Forsberg was the third highest forward taken in the draft. We think he's a top 2-line forward, a guy that can play hopefully on our top line. He's played all 3 forward positions. This year he's playing mostly right wing. He's a guy that we think has a lot of power. We think we can score. We've traded him for long-term competitor Martin Erat. It is always difficult, if you've seen me in these situations before, sometimes to trade a veteran player, a player that's meant a lot to our franchise, has done a lot for our franchise. In this case, unfortunately, Marty had approached us and thought that it would be best if we could move him on, that he just didn't think it was working out for him any longer. As a general manager, you're never really comfortable when that happens. I mean, you deal with it. I've been processing it for a while. Marty and I had a number of meetings about that just to make sure this wasn't an emotional situation, and it wasn't, and he really felt it was time to move on. Having said that, when somebody doesn't want to play or is not totally committed to your organization any longer, I don't think that makes any sense. So in essence, we've traded a 31-year-old veteran for a 19-year-old high-end prospect. I like that for today, and I like that for the future. This has been a tough year in terms of our overall play. I'd have to say, to this point, we've probably performed a little under what our expectations were, but we've still got enough games left to make it. Our record in the last 7 games, I believe, is 4-1-2. Anytime that you have Pecoreni in net and Shea Weber back on the point and some of our other players, we have a chance, and our players are playing good enough to make it. So this clearly was not giving up. I always look at days like this as almost a Chinese proverb that it may be good, may be bad. I'd rather say that it may be good. And once again, you give somebody an opportunity to play in a higher role. This has almost been our MO since day one here in Nashville, where we've moved guys up in a higher role, and oftentimes they've come through for us. And so once again, somebody's going to get to play in a higher position, and we'll go from there. Forsberg's season is just about over. I think they've got one more game remaining in Sweden. We're going to talk to his agent. We're going to talk to him tomorrow. The idea would be to bring him over here to Nashville to get to know each other, get him into a couple of practices, and then we'll go from there. So we got to, as his agent said, we got to formulate a development plan, which we'll do real soon, and I would hope that there'd be some participation here this year. I'm not promising or predicting that he will play for us, but certainly want to see him, and hopefully he will be in our system next year. He's a signed player. Washington signed him, so hopefully he will be with us sooner than later.
Was Marty